When you buy a house, you want to have a home inspection done. But we have so many questions before, during, and after. So today, I had a home inspector come out and speak to my team to answer some of the questions that we get from you. Stay tuned. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back and spending your time with me. My name is Sonya, and I am proud to be a Texas licensed realtor. I am your writing realtor with JPAR-The Sears Group. Here on my channel, we talk about real estate, Texas, and motorcycles. Well, my motorcycle. And I absolutely love having you along for the ride.
Okay, so David, thank you so much for being here for us, everybody. David is with Anchored Inspections.
Yes.
So go ahead and are you more comfortable sitting or standing? You probably should stand for the camera.
No, it gets everywhere. It gets
does?
the ceiling and the floor.
Really?
It's like 360?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Like, should we move it back a little bit? So anyway, take the floor. Tell us a little bit about you and what services that you provide and how you can help us.
So, as you said, my name is David Lee. I'm with Anchored Real Estate Inspections. We were talking before that I'm a retired 20-year Navy veteran.
Awesome.
And I just started, this company this year in April after I got my license. I'm still fairly new. I did bring this sheet with you. If you want to take one, yes, sir. Pass it around, and I'll pass these this way. Your business card. So I'm sure you guys have dealt with inspectors before, and you know the whole process of what they do, and they give you the report. There is a new Trek report that's coming out February. It's the REI 7-6. So if you don't
That's an inspection report, you said, a new one for
yeah.
you guys to follow along.
Yes. So there will be new SOPs along with that and the new report.
SOPs. We got lots of those. No, I'm sorry. We got those. I'm sorry.
So if you use an inspector after February, just make sure that they're using the right form.
And we'll know that, so when we get the report, we'll see that form number.
At the very bottom.
At the very bottom. And please, one more time, tell me that form number.
REI 7-6. So the current one right now is -5.
Okay.
So and then as far as pricing goes, it's kind of pretty standard with probably any other inspection company that you have. It's per square foot, so I have my little breakdown there on the front. But what I really would like to talk to you about is the annual maintenance inspection. So how many of you do maintenance on your cars? Right? You get the oil changed, you get new tires when they get worn out.
Every time the light comes on, yeah.
So you take care of your car, and that's a pretty expensive purchase. You take care of yourself. You know, you exercise, you eat right, you know, so you're doing maintenance on yourself. But when is the last time that you've done maintenance on your house?
So you'll come out and do that?
I will come out and look and make sure that the maintenance items are good, they need to be checked, they need to be done. I'm not saying I'm going to do the maintenance.
Oh, okay.
I'll come out and look. I'll come out and look. I'm actually not allowed to do, if I do an inspection for you, I'm not allowed to come doing handyman work for a year.
Okay.
Oh,
Say that again. I didn't know that. Say that again. If you what?
If I do an inspection for you, I'm not allowed to come do any repairs for a year after that inspection.
Oh, okay. Is that just a rule overall?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
Okay.
Interesting.
But maybe I missed something because I had a text. I apologize. But why would you be coming out and repairing something?
Oh, because I had
Because she asked.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's an annual maintenance inspection. I was like, well, you do it too?
Gotcha. The maintenance inspection, the annual one.
Gotcha.
Because I do have a question about what you just said, an annual one, but when you're ready for questions.
So an annual maintenance inspection, so I'm going to go look at the roof, check the status, make sure that all of the little nails are sealed up and the vents are good and all that kind of stuff. Look around the exterior of the house, all of the sealant around the windows is good. Quick look at the foundation. Things that I'm not going to look at on a maintenance inspection would be the plumbing. So this isn't a transactional inspection, so it's not for buying or selling. It's you've been there in the house for a year or longer and you want to make sure everything's good to go. So plumbing, I'm going to assume you use the faucets almost every day, so you're going to know if it works or doesn't work. Same with the electrical outlets and things like that. You're going to know what switches work and what don't work. So this maintenance inspection, would be more something that you had an inspection a year ago. You have this maintenance inspection, so now you can compare the two reports and see, the sealant around the windows a year ago was good, but now it looks like it's starting to deteriorate and needs to be replaced. So you can get an idea of what type of maintenance or work or stuff that you're going to have to do, this year, next year, or whatever the case may be as far as that goes.
And will you provide a report with the annual maintenance?
Yes, I'll do a report. It'll probably be a kind of a modified of that truck report.
Right.
I don't know if you know this little tidbit, but the only time truck mandates that the REI 7-5 currently is used is on a transactional based inspection.
Okay.
So if I just come look at your house and I just do the air conditioning, it doesn't have to be on the 7-5. I can just take out that air conditioning part, write what I want, and give you the 2 pages.
Okay. That's good to know.
I just finished my pool class, so I have the CPO certification at the moment. I have to take the inspector portion. That they email me a code and take it online, so that service will be coming shortly.
Nice.
And that'll be separate from the normal inspection.
Right, yeah, and I can add that in at the same time I'm there, or do that
So
separately.
that you don't have to go looking around separately. It's great. I'm noticing that some inspectors are starting to add that more and more versus us having to go separately and finding that full inspector.
Yep.
So this leads to a question that we were just talking about, and I'm looking on your deal, just like it says pre-sale walkthrough. What do you charge are they considered it on a brand new construction? So we just did dirt, we're ready to roll, and they decided they're going to go with a third-party inspector and not just the builder's inspection that moves them on. Is that considered, what do you call that? Is it for some reason this sticks in my head, a 3-point inspection?
3-phase?
3-phase or something like that?
Yeah, 3-point, 3-phase is pretty common. So phase 1 would be the foundation. So that's pre-pour, so you look at the foundation forms, you're going to look at the post-tension cables, you're going to look at the plumbing, make sure all of that is in place where it's supposed to be. Usually try to get the documentation from the builder, so the actual plans, so that I know how big the foundation is supposed to be, where the plumbing is supposed to be located at. Second phase would be pre-drywall or stud foundation or stud walls. So there you're going to look at all of the studs, you're going to look at the plumbing in the walls, you're going to look at the electrical, so everything that would normally be hidden by the sheetrock itself.
Correct.
And then the last phase, if they wanted one, would be a final walkthrough for everything.
So do you charge per each one or an upfront fee for all 3 that you're going to put in place for them because they've asked it, or how does the charge go and how does it differ?
It really depends. I've had a client that didn't want the foundation, but he wanted the second phase, and that's all he wanted. So he didn't want a final, he just wanted that in between to see what was behind the walls. So I just charge them for that. If they want the whole thing,
Make sure there's no beer cans and stuff behind the walls.
Yeah,
Do you look at the bracers at the top?
what's that?
Do you look at the bracers? I think that's what it's called, up in the ceiling.
The rafters,
Rafters,
and the joists and everything. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But still, so that's just going to be, they're going to pay per each time you come out?
If they wanted every single first, second, and third phase, I would do a package and be like, I can do all 3 of them for XYZ.
Do you know that package?
Again, square footage.
Square footage, so just.
So it would be like since it's a 3,000 square foot house, so it'd be 500 divided by 3, or maybe just a little bit
No,
more?
a phase inspection is actually probably about double.
Okay.
Just because you go out, so you're going out 3 times, and I'm looking at about 4 times the amount of stuff.
Right, okay.
So I can't, regular building, I can't see the plumbing and all that. So I'm looking at all the connections, making sure everything's good, all the wiring in the boxes. And,
What about mold inspections?
mold inspections, I don't do. I have a guy who is pretty reliable. If they need a mold inspection, what I usually recommend if a client says, well, do you do mold inspection? And I say, do you know that you need one? Let's go out and do the inspection, and it's pretty easy to see whether or not you're going to need one. And I can tell you, yes, maybe you should need one, or no.
Mm-hmm.
Probably doesn't look like you need one. They can always get one if they want, obviously, but they try and
You have to be certified
save
to,
a
Exactly.
to do it. So
try and save them a couple $100 if they don't really need one.
So you'll advise it. What about termite? Do you
At the moment, no. I know what to look for, and I can recommend a termite. And I have another guy who's usually comes out about the same time I do. He's there, and
So basically, it would be, hey David, I've got this inspection. They need an inspection for, can you do this and get a termite inspector? Then you'll call them and bring them.
I'll call the termite and coordinate the whole thing. And
That's typical. Okay.
I usually have them. You said pay separate. I usually just have them pay me, and then I pay the termite guy.
Okay.
So it's just they're just dealing with me. I don't have to make 2 phone calls, 2 emails, wait for 2 reports. I send everything once I get it.
Oh, okay. So you arrange it all.
Yeah.
Tim's the coordinator. Fabulous. That's what we
Customer service.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. What else can we think about that we were?
So you do a pre-listing, pre-sale walkthrough as well?
So a pre-sale walkthrough, pre-sale walkthrough is not necessarily an inspection. I'll just go with the client, walk through their house, turn on all the lights.
yeah, because if you have a report, you have to disclose it.
Yeah. So it would just be stuff to be like, an inspector's going to see that.
Right.
Tell me about your house. What works, what doesn't. The inspector's going to look at this. The inspector's going to look at that. So it's not necessarily an inspection. It's just a, kind of an advisory walkthrough.
So what happens a lot that I do with my clients that have bought a pre-construction and chose, not a brand new home, and have chose not to hire a third-party inspector and just go with that, but is usually within the 10th month of owning the home to get an inspection.
Yep.
And, that's something is that where you're talking maybe, how, is it the same cost that we're looking at then? Because it's just, you're doing a basic inspection of the home, so it's going to be the standard home inspection, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it all depends on how thorough they want. If they just want me to come around and look at it,
Well, they're
I
going
can
to
do
want
that,
it.
but that doesn't not going to help them for what they need. So.
Reason they're looking for that is because now they've got a full year of in their home warranty of little bitty things that need to be taken care of. And that way, if you do get an inspector to come through and look at it for you, then they can
You can
present
call
that.
things.
Yeah.
Yes, call things in and get it taken care of before your 12 months.
Yeah, not a living front. That's what I tell my clients to do.
Yeah.
When they just
Yeah, 10 or 11 month warranty inspection.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't want to spend that extra money and that, oh no, and the salespeople are saying, oh, just, you're fine. But we also know
Yeah.
sometimes you're not fine.
Yeah.
You just need that third party. But people all think about it. Everybody looks at it differently.
So you just price it based on square footage, age, you don't discriminate.
I don't usually discriminate on age. I haven't run into an issue where I go to an old house and it's just like a disaster kind of a thing. So
Yeah.
I'm charging you double.
I do have a question on the foundation. So when you say you include foundation, what does that consist of?
So I don't have one of those fancy zip level deals yet. What I use is old-fashioned paintball. Just set that on the ground, and
If it rolls.
if it immediately takes off towards the door, then I know that's got a pretty good amount of slope.
I do that with a
Eventually
bin in
you'll get
places.
the
That's when you go into a house.
Yeah, I mean,
take a
marble with you.
Yeah, marble. You have carpet everywhere. It's kind of
Yeah, it's usually in the corners.
yeah.
And then you can see it right when you walk in. Right when I walk into a home, from the time I walk into the door, I can tell whether or not it's going to have foundation issues.
I mean, if I feel like I'm in a circus house, I'm gonna.
Then you're like, oh, yeah. But
I have one of those little round things.
Do y'all ever recommend that when you're,
Are you okay?
before somebody sells a
Yeah, I just thought
house,
that should be
that they
better.
get
I'll
a
built-in
inspection
buffers.
done?
The what?
Before, if you're gonna list your house, would you get an inspection done?
We always
Yes,
recommend
we
it.
recommend it.
Yeah.
And it's
Not
just
like a
seller.
report, right? Once again, you have to disclose
Yeah.
what is on there, but
Yeah.
definitely like a walkthrough, yeah.
Yeah, because that way you know if you have to fix something and what to expect from
Kinda
the
get in front of
inspector,
the game,
from the
yeah.
buyer's party.
And that's just, like you said, the benefit for the seller, and you don't
Yeah.
have to disclose, hey, we have an inspection report for you,
Yeah.
or whatever.
And then
So-
you can be like, we fixed this.
Yeah, so that would be more
Yeah.
like you doing your walkthrough,
Yeah.
right?
So I was actually
Are
just
you
going
free?
to ask you a question on that. A pre-sale inspection, a full-blown inspection. I like to recommend those, even though they need to be disclosed, and here's why. If, let's say there's a GFC outlet that's not functioning right, it doesn't reset, it doesn't trip when it's supposed to. So on my report, I'm going to write that that outlet needs to be checked or replaced by a certified electrician. So if I hand that to the buyer's going to give it to you as the selling agent and be like, I want an electrician to come out and do this. Well, that's going to cause the seller $75, $80 for the electrician to walk in the door, the part itself, time, labor costs for that. So you're looking at $175 for an electrician to replace an outlet. But there's nothing saying if I do an inspection for you, the seller, and give that to you, be like, I'm going to have that same comment in there. GFC outlet doesn't work. If you replace it yourself, and then the new inspector comes and checks it, then, yeah, that's good. It's been fixed. They don't know that it has been or has not been fixed by a certified electrician. If you're good with doing your own electrical work or plumbing or whatever, then
But now-
save yourself a little bit of money and do
Yeah.
that.
I'll
Do
say
we have
it
to
saves
disclose
the
it, though?
seller and the buyer, because then
Yeah.
the buyer's not having to fix it later, and the seller's.
I don't think that you have to disclose which part. The fact
Or
that
like
you
on
fixed
the
it.
seller's disclosure, say it's something major,
Yes, you
right?
have to.
Now you
Well,
have to
you're gonna-
disclose it because you're aware of it because the
Yes.
inspector made
So
the
we're talking major, like, maybe there was a roof leak or something?
Yeah.
Like that, yeah, we're gonna have to disclose that anyway, right, on the seller's disclosure, so.
But at least now
now
you
that the
fixed it
inspector
versus it hasn't been
brought it
fixed
to
and it's
light.
there.
It's no different than it's no different, in my opinion, like anybody else right now. It got repaired a year ago, or it got repaired 2 days ago. It's still in there that this is what happened and it's been repaired.
And
You get what I'm saying? I don't think that it.
Yeah, it'll come up either way.
It'll come up either way. And just from my client's perspective, the more that shows up on an inspection that's not on the seller's disclosure, then they start to not trust the seller.
Right.
And I that's why-
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Because of
yeah.
that. So,
That's true.
my 2 cents. And the newbie.
Yeah. It's true though. I don't know. Anything else? Why Anchor? What made you think of that name? Oh, I know why, the naming. Go,
Name.
don't go.
When I,
It's because there's another team within our organization of JPAR-The Sears group. They're called the Anchor team.
It's
So
just Navy.
and so I was like, I thought, oh, maybe they work together, or maybe they're part of it or something.
When I retired, I was a chief petty officer, which is a E7, and their collar insignia is a gold anchor.
Oh, okay.
So, but yes, the name.
So you guys are seasoned with real estate. You've been doing it a while. So question, so if, for you, based on what you said, so if someone were to sign up for this annual maintenance and they were to keep the reports that you provide as proof that they maintain the home, would that offer more value?
If that person would take it that way.
Yeah, we don't know.
Depends on how that person.
Well, what's the difference in that and the car, right?
I mean,
Whenever I go buy a car and
I
somebody's
would
kept up
too.
the maintenance on
I
it,
would
to me, I
appreciate
feel
it.
better that they've kept up the maintenance and they've gone to this
Yeah.
place every single time and they've done this.
It's
And
like walking into
to me,
a
that
house
brings more value on a car,
filthy
so why not a
air
house?
vent.
Yeah.
Do you think if you have a filthy
Yeah.
air vent that is
They're not
simple-
maintaining.
Has anybody done that you know?
Or like
What, like
fires,
fires?
or
Setters.
Like you own a house, do you, if you've ever had, of course, maybe most people don't come in and do your annual.
No,
stuff.
I-
Yeah, my honey,
But I mean, I'm talking in homes, like, when
I
I
need
need
to
to sell
ask
it,
her.
make sure you pay it, because you.
I'm the maintenance guy, so.
Right, see, that's what
I need to hire me.
is we would do everything, but I've never experienced somebody who kept records on the house the way we do on our cars.
Like what?
I know, but I was thinking like giving a
There's
gift,
stuff
like for
that
a new
I think
home buyers.
it's-
And it's like
And I would be
maintenance
proud to share it with
circles, you know,
themselves,
where you
hey,
can
look at my
like
whatever,
secrets.
yeah.
Improvements that you do without, you know,
Yeah.
which I think would be cool, like if you do every quarter, you sell your house, the person would know, like, hey, I've kept up with all the maintenance.
How about all the
goals?
Etsy has that.
But you know,
Right.
I didn't have our house for
Like,
long,
part
but
of,
we built
as
a
part of the
house.
closing gift, I think.
Yeah.
Because we did that. We built a house in Dallas whenever my kids were born, and we didn't live there very long because we moved back here. But I even gave the buyers, since we built the house, I had the floor plans, and I gave them everything that I had because
And I think that they
To me,
appreciate
that shows a lot.
Too. It does, right? I think
It's
so.
very beneficial.
I think to answer your question, if I was a buyer in that situation and they just showed me the inspection reports, I guess I would want to see some sort of report saying that
This
these
is-
items in that inspection
That's
report
kind of what I
were
was
repaired.
thinking, is that you compare.
You want something to back it up.
I'll say staple all your
If he
receipts.
says it's
Invoices and
recommended,
stuff
it's
like that,
where
yeah.
he's saying that you did it. So
Yeah.
it's a, you
Well,
have to be a very damn
And if
good.
you're keeping up with it, it shouldn't be on that report twice. Okay?
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking, is if you're comparing it,
Yeah.
New one that doesn't have it.
It's kind of like a car, we
That's
call it a
just
car
stress.
report or
Hey,
whatever.
it's organization. Remember, that's what we're doing.
Oh yeah, that's what I walked away from Tom Ferry, or getting myself just doing it and quit complaining. Just do it. Take action. Take action. So my action is starting to be get stuff done.
And the more people we bring in on these meetings, the more organization and folders we need.
This is good.
Another category.
Okay, so what areas do you service? Do you do all of Houston?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's going to Liberty here in just when we're done. So you
Okay.
guys,
Well, you guys, I'm certified in the state of Texas.
that's like us.
Like us, I'm like, I'll buy anything in Texas. You want me to go where?
Okay.
Is it like a radius of, let's say we got something in Lufkin or...
Is there thoughts you prefer? Let me rephrase my question.
Sure, I would prefer the house that I met you at because it's right across the street. So.
Where you live? In Richland.
Yeah, Richmond, so.
Yeah. We're under contract. We close on the 1st, December 1st, so that'll finally get sold. You know.
Nice.
That it?
Well,
Anything
that's it.
else?
Yeah, I got
What's
it.
the turnaround on your report?
I usually try and have them same day.
Oh, wow. Perfect. And how hard is it to get an appointment with you? Do you answer your own phones?
I do.
Okay. So how hard is it to reach you?
Well, if I can't get to my phone, if I just absolutely miss your phone call, I'll usually call right back.
Okay. All right.
I'm the kind of guy that if you don't leave me a message,
You're going to call.
probably not going to call you back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably will or will not.
Won't.
Oh, you're that guy.
I usually text you.
If you don't leave me a message, then it wasn't important enough for you to call me and talk to me.
Yeah. It's so funny how we all see that differently. Yeah. Because
Like
like
you go to your text quicker.
Or you're a telemarketer.
You get your text messages quicker?
yeah.
Yeah, usually.
Because
even
I
if
will
I'm,
turn on
even
your
if I'm
voicemail.
doing an
Yeah.
inspection, even if I'm there, I can
Yeah.
I can send I'll call you in an hour or
Right.
Right.
something. So yeah.
Yeah. Because if I don't get it, it depends on who I'm calling whether or not I'll leave a message, right? So if I really needed you, I'm going to leave a message.
Is your
like you said.
voicemail full?
Not or not set up.
No,
I mean, mine's kind of full sometimes. I'm like,
that as well.
Yeah.
I usually get on my
It is
way.
set up. Do you want
Yeah, you see
my
the
questions?
Her text messages. She got like 800.
Oh gosh,
messages.
right? It's like, oh, did I miss that one? I missed your message. Like, sorry.
Do your reports have that option where you can do repair requests?
Oh, that's right.
Details
What type of
page.
report do you have?
Huh?
Those are handy. Yeah.
So the ones
I like
that come,
those.
like we get report for several people that I use, their reports come back and then it's
Some are
embedded in the
color-coded.
report. Yeah, that. But I can click off to the right and say whatever's, because your report will say whether it's recommended to have a professional or do it yourself. And then you can click on that and you can write in the report, a repair request for your client.
Or credit.
Yeah, so we just kind of utilize that. I don't know. There's not a ton of them that use it, but there's like 3 or 4 different inspectors I've used that have that.
And then that request goes to a
It goes
company
to-
somewhere?
It's just,
right?
it creates a PDF
creates
of
a little
like the
organized.
requests that you want, so you're not sending the whole report to this listing agent.
Or you're just highlighting the
You're
ones
just-
you want
yeah.
to get repaired or get money
Ah,
for
gotcha.
repaired.
It saves.
I don't know what it's called, but it's a really
Like a
cool.
repairs exhibit.
Yeah.
kind of.
Well,
Something
I
detailed.
don't, and here's the reason why. What I feel is something that needs to be repaired might not be something your client wants to have repaired, or they just.
Well, it's not, maybe we're explaining it wrong. It's not that, it's to
Maybe
make
it's
your
like
report.
highlighting the main,
Yeah,
right?
safety
So like if a
issues.
report comes through, like I've seen some that'll be red items are like major.
Yeah.
Yellow's like, hey, you can kind of yay or nay, and then green's like,
Just
here it is,
Just
but it's
cosmetic,
not
like,
that
minor.
huge.
Gotcha.
Whatever.
What I'm saying is, it's a benefit to us as an agent for
Saves us
time. It saves us
So you don't have
time.
to read through the whole.
So we don't have to go
So
page by page and highlight, say this.
screenshot, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just kind of formulates our request really easily, I guess.
I know.
So what I do in that instance is I'll go through the report and I categorize stuff as major, safety,
Correct.
things that need to be repaired in order to function properly.
That's a good.
And then I have improvement items, which are, if you want to fix it,
Right.
you can, but not super necessary. And then I also have, I can't remember exactly what I call it. It's like,
Like popping up because it has to.
stuff that's going to cost you money in the future.
Yeah.
Like if your air conditioner unit, it's working right now, but it was built in 1982.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you money in the future. Maybe tomorrow, maybe a year from now. Who knows?
Yeah.
So then I kind of categorize
Preventative.
stuff like that and have that in a summary on the very end of the report.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
So yeah, so
Summary
you as an
helps.
agent, you can just flip down past all the pictures, all the comments.
Yeah,
are
go to
gonna be
summary.
and the summary.
So do you have a recommended like vendor list for people that you know that would come fix the roof or the plumbing or
I
the?
don't necessarily have a list, but yeah, I have contacts of, if somebody were to ask me, hey, I want to fix that roof leak that you found, who can I call? I could give them a couple people.
Okay.
Perfect. You've been awesome. We appreciate it. I know you need to go. You gotta go deliberate. It's 12:30. We've taken up an additional 15 minutes of your time. Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry we were late.
I have a passion for riding motorcycles and for real estate. And that's why I've combined the two so that you can see real estate the way I do. If you are interested in viewing real estate differently and would like to deal with a knowledgeable yet down-to-earth realtor, give me a call today.